Hello, everyone.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening,
How
everyone.
are we?
Very well.
We are very well. So once again, Hearns from home. So Hearns Live, episode number 60. So again from home, as I guess most of Australia, we are still in lockdown. So we shifted our live show from our garages, backyards for Tom.
Yep.
Bedroom for Bret. Is that your bedroom?
That's my office.
Yeah.
I'm calling it office.
Is the head office for Bret and living room for Gage.
That's me.
Very good. So, what's happening tonight? Lots of things. I think everyone's been really busy, actually.
Got all sorts of things to show.
We have a few new models. We got the car of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Tom
Car of the
sitting
day.
there.
Car of the
So,
day.
what is going to be this car, as usual?
Car of the day.
Don't give it away, Thomas.
Just go backwards. There we go. We've got quite a few joining us tonight. So, we have Tony, Sam
Hello,
from
Tony.
Queensland, enjoying the beach weather. Jason. Very good. So, again, as usual, we need to guess what car we have here. So, make, model, color, what else? Anything else you can guess?
What do you think we've got there?
Let's see. All right. So, let's start guessing. So, as always, feel free to ask any questions. I think Warwick may join us later on too. Pop the question in the chat. We'll try our best to answer them. And we can get started. Who's going to be up first? So, we have Bret box for sure tonight. That's not going to miss, isn't it?
Brett's box. It just wouldn't be a Friday night without Brett's box.
No, absolutely.
Is that where you wanted to start, though, or not? I don't know if you want to dive into Brett's box so early, or you don't know what you'll find.
You don't know what you find.
That's the excitement of it all, isn't it?
All right, let's have a look in Brett's box. Well,
Yeah.
I might have more than one box tonight.
But it's a new box every week.
I know there's a new box every week. So, first of all, let's have a look at the Brett's new box.
Hey, Warwick.
Hey, Warwick.
Oh, hello.
Hello, my morning family.
Oh,
How
it's
are
in
you?
frozen mode.
It's frozen already.
It's underwater, Warwick.
And how is isolation has not been kind to you, has it, Warwick?
No, it hasn't.
No.
My haircut's in a row. So that's what you get. Krusty the Clown tonight. On my interpretation
your internet connection's pretty much worn out as well, I'd say.
Looks
Really?
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we had a Bret's box.
That's better.
Well, so we put,
Look at that XTR.
Well,
all right. Bret.
you're not supposed to
There
give
we
it
go.
away, B. So here we have Brett's new box. So this is sent over from Alan from Tix Race Developments this week. This is a new prototype product, a new thing we have made up. And have a look what's in there. I can just
I
about tip
reckon
it
Sam
over.
Sam's got it all correct, doesn't he? He said XTR
I think-
oils is in your box.
I think so.
Look at this guy. So Brett's box this week, it's not about what's in the box, it's about the box itself. So this is a new shock oil, or as you can see, divided box. And I've got all sorts of things here because these ones that we use for 8 scale, these are 200 ml shock oil bottles. They're obviously quite large, and they don't really fit in anything that's previously been commercially available to my knowledge. So Tix Race Development has come aboard and designed these boxes that'll fit and segregate all our shock oils and keep them nice and neat. I've gone as far as to even put TDK in my box.
Whoa.
I've got the TDK spritzer.
Spritzer.
I've got another dangerous
that's old school.
traction additive. We've got some sweet good stuff. Yeah, we've got all sorts of bits and pieces. So you can see here, it's a good way. This one here's got 20 dividers in it. So it'll keep all your shock oils and diff oils in there and whatever you choose to keep. So yeah, a fantastic thing, and really glad to have a new Bret's box this week.
Keeps it pretty neat.
That is very neat. because all the racers, all the guys that go to the track know how hard it is to keep and organize your shock oils and your consumables, and that's a really good way to do it.
Mm.
So the question is, what size is going to be next week's Bret box?
Well, are they getting bigger or smaller?
Are they going to get bigger or smaller? That's the question.
Is there anything that Bret can't fit into his box?
Indeed.
No, we'll find out.
We'll find out. Exactly.
Box for your box.
For every occasion.
Do you want to have a look in second Bret's box?
Oh, we should have a look later at the second box. What do you think? Should have a break?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
break from
I think we
boxes.
should have a break. That's enough box from me.
Later, more boxes. So, what? Who else has been working on something? I think Thomas and Wild Willy up there. Has it?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good old-fashioned Tamiya vintage classic. Just going to put that out of the way for a second. Went completely different with this one. So normally when you
You're
see
right, Lewis.
in the green, everyone tends to love doing it in that sort of army green sort of color, but went a little bit more bling with this one. So it's got some Tamiya upgrades on there. You can see the rear brace at the back there. The shocks have been upgraded and a few other bits and pieces on the way through.
Where are the shocks from, Tommy?
Sorry?
Where are the shocks from?
They're the Tamiya upgrade shocks. So they're the TRX shocks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
So
You've got TRF shocks on a Wild Willy.
yeah,
absolutely.
you're going to have the best, mate.
It's the only way to do it. So yeah, there you go. Decided to take this one a little bit differently. I had some Harley Quinn stickers left over from another project, so they went basically all over this one. And yeah, it's coming along quite nicely. I've still got a top coat and basically try and protect the paintwork. And then it'll be ready to take out and bash. So we'll get a video of that soon.
I think you've got a bit of an affection with Harley Quinn, haven't you, Thomas?
You could call it that, yeah. Overly insane addiction might be a better way to put it. But
Oh, there you go.
So it looks like everyone has been working on Tamiya stuff. I think Warwick has been doing some paint work on a Tamiya kit. Is it a secret project still, Warwick?
Well, look, it was going to be. I was going to spring it on you guys when I had finished it, but then, of course, someone at Bilby's school got COVID, and so he got shut down, and we've all been in quarantine. This is week 1 of the 2-week quarantine. So, yeah, I decided I needed a project that I could just as if I needed another one, but just something that I could just push everything aside and just go, okay, well, I've got 2 weeks. Let's something out. So I wanted to. I like the idea of doing a model car. I'm open a box. I'm like, where's the rest of it? It's kind of tiny. And I want something bigger. And there's not very many larger scale model cars. And the one that I wanted hasn't come back in stock yet. So I did the next best thing, and I thought I got the box. You're gonna have to wait.
Oh,
So
done a quick studio dash.
the good news is next week we're going to receive more Tamiya stock. So we receive communication this week. There will be some cars coming, some more Beetle.
This guy.
Oh, here we go. Let me put it big.
So I got
Oh,
favorite grasshopper. Reflections everywhere.
Too close.
So I got one of these. I had a Fox as a kid in 84, 85 or something, whenever it came out. And you know what happens quite a bit in the shop is a kid will come in, or we'll be talking about something, and we always have sort of great sort of sessions where we sort of bounce ideas off each other about things that we could do or things that we could try out. And we got talking about the grasshopper and ways that we could sort of, I don't know, give it some sort of a Australian flavour or paint it up like a grasshopper. But the question was, what sort of grasshopper do you do? And then I remembered that it was last year or the year before, there was like a plague of locusts, which is a type of grasshopper. So I'm like, plague locust. So I Googled it and I'm like, oh, the Australian plague locust. That looks amazing. I'm going to paint it like the Australian plague locust. So that's what I did. And I'm about 3/4 of the way.
The plague.
Isolation has not been kind to you at all, has it, Warwick?
Look, I'm embracing the plague. That's all I can say. I'm going full plague.
Full plague.
He's not supposed to, but I'm going full plague. So I'm about 3/4 finished. I'm making this up as I go along. I had a sort of a vague idea, like I used probably photos for the first time ever. Just Googled some.
Teasing and show me, goddammit.
All right, are you ready?
That's a tease.
You're a locust tease. I've always said that.
Now, bear in mind, this is not finished, but I'm having a lot of fun, and that's the main thing.
That's what it's all about.
There you go.
Gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
Well, did you paint everything,
Yep.
including all the numbers? Are you mad?
No, I'm just in quarantine, bitch. What else am I going to do?
That's pretty damn good. I like that graduation.
That is impressive.
You like the lights? The bug eyes?
Cool.
So I think you use your machine to cut stencils for the lettering.
Yep. This is my favorite one.
What the hell is Satan?
It's a sponsor.
It's
an important sponsor of plagues, I understand.
It's the knockoff brand.
Yeah. They do terrible work. Quite infectious though. So I've done the top half. Yeah. Plague locust. And you can see the
Is that a
so
color
the first layer was the pattern of the wings of the plague locust, and he's kind of got spots. Of course he does, because he's the plague. So I incorporated that into it, but then also a bit of that kind of this sort of standard racing kind of look with the numbers and I kept all the locations of the decals the same as the box art. And
wow.
Yeah, it's kind of made it up as I went along. So I've done that, and I've also I've started doing the wheels.
Oh wow!
Mm.
So they're red on the inside, and then green on the outside. And I stupidly decided to paint those letters, and I wish I didn't now because I've only done one, and I've lost my mind already. But I think they look good on the finished article.
Oh, they got that real retro look, haven't they?
Yeah. Well,
You put the tire on backwards.
I did. You know what? I did the first one, and then I was like, "Oh, hang on, this tires are directional." And luckily, I got the first one right, so I won't be making that mistake. But yeah, wasn't in the instructions. There was no warning or anything. But I think they've turned out all right. I did. So what did I use? I used just an off-white acrylic for the lettering, and then just a satin varnish, all hand painted, of course, because you can't do it any other way. Did just a satin varnish on that flat section, just to give it a bit more pop. And the paints are a combination of that's Tamiya Mica Red over, and that's the SMS blue to green shifting paint. Not blue to green, blue to gold. Green to gold. What am I talking about? Green to gold.
Do you even know? I've got a bit of an affliction with green, so I think it looks fantastic.
They're keeping you busy.
And I also prepared a walkthrough for it as well.
You paint the whole lower chassis as well, I noticed.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm painting everything. I'm even painting swing arms.
Oh, really? Oh, look at that.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And I'm putting flex. It's all lacquers, so I'm putting flex into everything. So even though it's a shelf queen, theoretically you could flex and not crack under pressure. But yeah, and I've gone a bit crazy with this too. I've filled all those in with 1,000 different layers of transparent and metallic finishes. Both sides.
Only 1,000.
I keep doing it because I'll have an idea and I'll be like, okay, let's try that. And then
that motor looks a bit plain, Warwick.
Well, you'll be happy to know that I did a BZ motor for it. So hopefully that will also look bling. Someone was saying paint the motor. I'm like, I'm not that stupid, really. Do we have heat-proof paint? Heat-proof paint at Hearns? In some corner that I'm not aware of? I don't know. So it's all slowly coming together. Now, if you'll indulge me, quick revelations in terms of paints and things that I wasn't fully aware of before I started this project, which is half the reason I do these sort of things, because I want to try new things. Like if you don't try something new on every kit, then you're going to just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Have you been using the paint booth today, Warwick?
I'm sorry?
Have you been using the paint booth today?
Yes.
Yes, you're in.
Yes. It's been smashed, literally.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I can't actually.
Paints.
Okay, so paints. These Mr. Metallic colours are the best metallic lacquers that you can buy.
So they're the GX
I can't recommend them highly enough. They're so buttery smooth, and they go on. You know, heaps of pigment in them, so you don't need very much, and they go a long way and cover really easily. And the mica flake in it is so fine. It looks scale. Like a lot of metallics, especially some metallics that have obviously come out of the car industry, they're just overscale and they just clown-like. They look like a bass boat finish on something that's supposed to be 110 or 120 or 1 to 100 or whatever.
Oh, it looks like glitter.
These are really scale and are super nice. And we've got them all at Hearns, and I highly recommend people try them out. The other quick revelation, I've had these Mica Paints from the Tamiya Lacquer range.
Yep.
They were. I thought mica was just a different sort of metallic, but what these are is that this is a clear red with metal flake in it. So it's sort of like a candy plus a candy with extra goodness. This looks best over gold. So you really need to experiment with what's underneath it, because it makes a huge difference to how it looks when you're sort of done with it. And that's what this is.
Well, the Mica red is pretty much the Mazda red.
Yeah, it's really
what red?
Mazda.
It really looks anodized. Like in the flesh, you would think that this is an anodized bit. It's got that kind of sheen to it. Super nice. Actually, so I painted this. This is actually a silver undercoat from Gaia Note, a silver primer from Gaia Notes, followed by a gold fade, and then I've put the red over the gold. Hopefully you can't see the transition. You can a little bit, but it looks much better over gold than it does on silver. So if you like Andes and you like metallics and you're a lacquer guy, give these a try. They're really good. I kind of enjoy using them. And the other thing that I did was for the first time was extensively use these fellas. Now, I think I've said in a previous,
they're nice.
They are super nice. They're more expensive, but they go so much further because they're just so pigment dense. You don't have to use as much of them as you would for a regular metallic, say from Vallejo or someone like that. And I've figured out sort of an arsenal of various additives, not that one, various additives Why do I keep picking it up? It's trying to tell me
Jesus.
something.
What are you doing?
How many bottles do you
Show
have?
us examples.
Which way? Oh, there we go. So I'm using. It's chaos. So I'm using like airbrush thinner and retarder medium and glaze medium and all sorts of stuff to just improve the brushability and just the smoothness and increase the drying time because acrylics just dry super fast when you're trying to brush them, and I'm really slow and ponderous. But if you get the mix right, then you can get finishes like that guy there. Oh, am I pointing to the right thing? That guy there.
And you brush
So
that on, right?
that is one of the metal and alchemy paints, and it's just so
Smooth.
smooth. You wouldn't know it was hand painted.
Hand painted,
So
yeah.
I was super impressed with that. See that?
Yeah, I've tried some of the colours. I mean, Nick's got quite a few that I tried out, and they're really, really smooth. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
out of all the acrylic metallics, they've got to be the best ones out there that I've tried so far. I thought
Yeah,
the metallics
yeah.
are like those sort of mica flecks. It's almost like they're ground down to a super fine powder. They're done,
Yeah, I
they
think
don't
that's
glue at all.
the key. Yeah,
Super smooth.
they're really, really nice. I've really enjoyed working with them, and also these are getting a workout as well. Both the Green Stuff World Intensity inks. What's that guy there?
Yep.
Nope. No, it's not. Everything's back to front. So the Intensity inks, as well as the metal fillers. What do they call them? Interference metals. Really, really versatile. Really versatile. Look, I reckon everyone should try the inks because you can use them by themselves, or you can add them to pretty much anything, except lacquers. Don't try it unless you like painting custard or with custard. Do that.
I reckon with enough inspiration, I reckon BJ'd stick it in his special fried rice.
Hey, you don't know what you can do to special fried rice with any leftovers, mate. So if you've got a little bit of that hanging around, I reckon it'll just give it that little bit of perhaps tang or whatever. You don't know until you try it.
BJ's
nice
intense
blue
congee.
That's right.
Now in blue
Flavored
flavour.
rice.
Yeah, these are super versatile. You can hand paint them. You can get a candy effect just by hand painting it on anything, which is really, really cool. You can add it to the UV resin to tint it, which is what I did on the warp drive.
Okay. Oh, so you fill the gaps with the UV resin, right? With the tinted UV resin.
Well, yeah, the top coat is actually UV resin, but underneath that is about 3 different colors of tinted acrylic clears, just hand brushed in there, including the intensity. Hey,
they're not coming off after being sealed up with the UV resin.
No, it's so thick. Like it's about 3 mils thick, the whole thing.
Once I screw a 4.5 in there, mate, it's over.
Hey,
I said once I screw a 4.5 turn motor in there, it's all over.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
1.5
shelter,
to
mate.
work out.
it'll look good. It just won't perform. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, intensity ink. I use them as washes, obviously. Have them thin them down with water and a retarder and a surface tension breaker of some description, and they make great washes as well. So yeah, that's kind of my my week 1 of quarantine report.
We don't know what's going to happen in week 2. It's going to be week 2, like it's going to be busy.
Yeah, I'll probably be more manic and
well,
I might send you over a Yokomo YZF SF to paint up, mate.
yeah, sure. Just drop one off at the front door, press the doorbell, and run.
And run.
And
You need to press the front button and run.
And the next time you see me, it'll be amazing. What sort of theme should we go for?
These
The Japanese
gearboxes
are
are
maybe-
nowhere near as pretty, are they?
Maybe a Godzilla or
What's
something.
that?
That's the gearbox off the YZ4.
Ah,
Not nearly as pretty as the Grasshopper one, funnily enough.
Well, if you paint it, they will be
Well-
really good. Just give a bit of a primer, bit of white primer, and then you can do any color you want.
That's, I
Ding,
don't
ding.
know how. I don't think
I
Aaron would
suggest-
be too impressed.
I think this one will be perfect.
Oh, look
Like
at
a
that.
pinky.
nice.
They will look really good.
Mm.
Metallic
Come on,
pink.
man. Yep,
Let's
That
do
is
it.
fantastic,
All right.
boys.
do it. You're all about the pink and green. Come on, step it up.
You know it.
Cool. Well,
Have a look at
while
the statement.
Warwick showing this scale 75, we have done a bit more practice on those. There'll be a video also coming out next week. Let's see if I can. So this little figure has been mostly painted with this scale 75 metallics, and there is a white. I think the white is really nice actually. It's white but has this kind of pearl metallic finish, very very fine. And Vijay will do
Yeah.
some work as well. Bit more skilled than me as when it comes to painting. I haven't hardly done any of these in my life really. So this was one of the first one, but it
Still come out
goes
really
really
well.
really well. It come out really well. There's a really good depth, and I'm going to practice a little bit with some a bit of washers now to get a bit more depth. But this metallic from scale 75, and it's this one here. That's the white. Whoops. There we go. That's the white.
That's nice.
It's very, very nice. Actually, it's called Speed Metal. That's the actual name. Effectively,
It's got a
is
real sort of a platinum look to it.
that's exactly right. Yeah, yeah. So, very nice color. Now, on the green stuff, we have actually played with the blood. There is a calculated blood and true blood. We put them
That
here.
stuff is awesome.
This is impressive because whilst you can probably achieve this with simply using some kind of red and so forth, they actually have a consistency which is really really impressive. Let me see if I can get this to zoom. See how real
Hey,
this blood. Whoops.
It's interesting. It's like a clear, but it's got a semi transparent quality to it. So if you put it on really thick, it looks like real blood that's been dripping out of your hand after you cut it. But if you like spread it out, it starts getting this transparency effect, and you can sort of see it there coming up on the camera. So you can do all this smear type marks and spray it. So that's been flicked on as well, I think.
Yes, that's right.
It's got
So I did this with
high
a.
gloss.
This can zoom. It's too small. Let's see.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Tricky.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can see it there. Yeah.
So the splatter in there. So I put a bit of paint on a paintbrush, and then use an airbrush to actually spray air against the paintbrush to get this kind of splattering effect, which is quite fine on this side. It's not as fine on this side.
So in the past, I used to use like the Tamiya Clear Red for doing blood and mixing a touch of flesh into it, but it still doesn't look as good as this stuff straight out of the bottle.
That's right. And these skulls that I'm showing are part of a new product that we will be releasing soon as part of the HearnsWorkshop. So there will be a set of skulls of 3 different sizes and a skull with a spine. So specifically for wargaming, this will be roughly that kind of 1 to 50 scale, 1 to 48 scale. Is that correct, Beach?
Yeah.
So that's
yeah.
specific for that.
Roughly 20 mil.
heroic
20
scale.
mil, yeah.
Yep.
So, and that's for HearnsWorkshop. So that's something else they've been working on. Bijay, should we talk about the competition that we have been planning?
Yes. So we've got a new competition that we're going to start up with a new figure. So I've got a figure here because we haven't done a competition in a little while. So we're still in the planning stages of this, but what it's going to be, it's going to be one of these figurines here. Okay, so it's a military figurine, it's 35 scale, and it's a sort of Russian modern look. He's got this balaclava over his head, and he's going to have this weapon as well. So that's like an AK-74. So I guess if I can try and put him together, see if this works. I'm going to have to hold it like that. Can't really see, can you? Covering it all up. Okay, so basically we're going to have a tray with a figure and some accessories. And to enter, you just got to paint up one of these the best you can, make a little vignette of it, and pop it up into our event page, and we'll be judging them. So very similar. Oh, there you go. So Nick's got the tray there, a test tray. So we'll be judging them just as the same sort of layout we've done with previous competitions. So you post up your photos. Now, obviously, the photos need to be good quality, and then we'll score them out of a certain number of marks. And of course, the more people that enter, the higher the prize pool goes. So the more people, the higher the prize is going to be a gift voucher. And I guess we'll split it up in the first, second, and third. That's how we've done it in the past. But I guess if we change our minds, we'll let you all know in the meantime. But to get everyone started into competitions again, I think we'll just set a simple competition, which will start up over the weekend. So it'll just be, let's do train layouts. So we've done dioramas before, aircraft, cars, figurines. Let's do your train layout. So please do send in the best photos you can of your train layout. The more realistic it looks, better it will be. So I'll post up all the details sometime tomorrow with some rules and what we're expecting, and join into the fun. So we'll do that for a week to kick off first, and then we'll get into the figure diorama competition. So that should be really good. Everyone gets the same subject matter, and it'll be really interesting to see what people do with it.
That's right, and I guess perfect timing. Being in lockdown, we get a bit more time to do a bit of modeling, a bit of thinking. So should be good. Yeah. We actually ran quite a few competitions last year. I think we done probably 10 or so, and then we ended up very near Christmas, and we stopped obviously, and we haven't restarted since. So good timing.
For sure. Well, since I'm here, well, this is the thing I've been working on. So,
what have you got there?
Last week? Huh?
It's BJ's box.
BJ's armored box.
113, the Australian one. Okay, so basically I've got most of it assembled, and I started painting. So a bit like Warwick, I've been experimenting with some paints. So I've been mixing a lacquer surfacer or a primer with acrylics, and I've just been trying to brush paint. So I'm going to try to complete this with totally brush painted, primer, everything. So it'll be a good experiment. I mean, basically, I just don't want to spray too much stuff at the moment because I'm living in an apartment and it's cold outside. Probably not the best sort of weather for spraying. And it is actually interesting how good you can get a brush finish on a model. So that's something I'll be showing you. Some of you guys have probably already seen some of my photos of this on social media. So this is where we're at the moment. I started painting the interior color, which is that interesting sea foam green. You can just see it inside there. Okay, so these are all going to come apart. So these are still in their sub-assemblies. So you got your front end. I've got a bit painted there. All right, get the hatches that'll move. That'll work. Pop that over there. And then you can get see a bit more. Oops.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a hand grenade.
You've smashed your box.
That's where I did the hatch. Okay, so the hatch is held in place with those little magnets I had. So, what that? That's where it is at the moment. Okay, so it looks really clean, but it's going to be quite weathered up by the time I finish with it. So I do most of the interior first. We'll cover it all up, mask it up, and then we'll start painting the exterior. Okay, so that's the current model project I'm onto. And then sort of, I think Tom's got a Gundam sitting there as well. So that's something I put together a little while ago.
Where'd you get that?
Iron Blooded Orphans kit.
Was that in your stash?
Yeah, that's a stash. I've had it in the stash for a little while. So it's actually ready for painting, and I packed it away and I've just pulled it out now. So
I like green.
I've already puttied it up. So I putted up all the joints. It's all been glued together.
What's his name?
That is the Gushin kit from memory.
A goose bag.
From, what's that? That's Iron Blooded Orphans.
Iron Blooded Orphans, yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty chunky. It looks a bit like a frog, turtle. all that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Frogger, yeah. Is this going to be part of a diorama? You're going to be making
yeah, I'll put it in a diorama. Always like sticking things into dioramas. I think they're more interesting in a diorama.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I wish they re-released the 1/100 of that. If they had so much fun with the 1/144. If they brought the 1/100 out again, I'd be all over it. So much fun.
Well, it's coming out again. So just wait. It'll be
It
a few
is
months.
coming back.
You're making that up.
No.
No.
I already put in some numbers, so just wait.
It's on the way.
Just maybe.
Yep.
Oh dear, good. So
Yeah. So you can see that. That's been fully brush painted. Not a single thing has been sprayed. So primer was also brush painted. And as I said, I was experimenting with primer because I was trying to get a lacquer primer to make sure that it had a really good bite. And sort of didn't want to mix with this particular acrylic very well. So acrylic and lacquer thinners generally work, but occasionally they won't. And this all separated, but I still used it anyway. And you'll probably be able to see a bit. There's still a bit of primer here that I actually on the back here. Okay, so on the back of this hatch, see how it's all patchy? Well, that's actually primer mixed with the paint they separated, and I still used it anyway. It's a little bit rough and doesn't cover very well, but it is really tough. So it's actually bitten right in there. And I'm just going to brush paint over that with acrylic, same as I did on this side. It's all brush painted, and it's giving you a really good key. So there's no doubt it's not as smooth as an airbrush, but then again, by the time you weather these things, it's going to be gritty as hell anyway. So a bit of grit in there is actually going to add to it, I think. So that's a bit of experimentation. And it's always good to experiment, and I think everyone should
Very
experiment.
brush for the win.
Huh?
Very brush for the win.
Very
Hairy
brush.
stick.
That's it. Yeah, hairy
Get
brush.
your hairy stick out.
That's it.
Whack it with your hairy stick, mate.
We've got a few of them, haven't we?
So
Can't beat it.
I think we had some guesses on the card before.
Oh, we did early on, yeah.
Yes.
How
Should
do
come back.
that?
So let me go back to that. So we had
That's the Batmobile.
this one. Yeah, and then we had this one.
Oh, that's getting close.
Jason's close.
The one obviously suggested that looks black, and that's cool.
Hey, Lewin.
And that's where we stop it. So what do we say? Let's see if there's any more guesses coming.
Movie
Come on,
fans,
boys.
Movie fans, come out.
come on. Very, very famously used in. Do we give that part away?
No.
No, let's see. Let's see if anyone can guess this one.
This is a really, really nice model. This is actually a 1/24th scale, but it's really, really nicely detailed. The
Oh,
finish-
really? Not so bad.
That car
bigger,
is gangster as.
Gangster.
Gangster as.
Talking to me?
and that's-
Yes.
So there we go.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Long movie.
Could well be.
She's not quite gangster enough.
She had a secret
You know
life.
the wrong Miss Daisy.
Although that would make for
No,
an
I don't think
interesting
anyone's going to
version
get
of
this
it.
one. You might have to give them a
There's
bit
always
of
time
hint.
for a sequel. There's always time for a sequel.
2 sequel.
You know, maybe her dog gets killed or something, and she seeks revenge.
What have we got next, boys?
Okay,
Oh,
so
everyone's gone quiet.
Show me.
Everyone's gone
so
quiet.
time for another bread box for the second bread box. Is there such a thing tonight?
Oh, brick box.
The boxes don't stop coming here, fellas. I'm telling you now.
I think I've recovered from the first one, so bring on the second.
Well, this one's upside down.
I think Kaiju Shorts might be onto it in the comments section there.
Oh, let's have a look before we get onto the box.
Have a look what's in Brett's box.
All right.
Let's have a look at this thing first. Now, what have we got here? Can anybody tell me?
Oh, I think I have one similar.
Oh, feeling left out here.
Yeah, me too.
Look at that.
It might very well be similar, Nick, but you know
But-
what?
It's not.
It's not.
Brett's one's got more holes in it.
What-
Mine's got bigger holes by the look of it.
You got
That's
holes.
the extra light
No.
racing version.
knowing you, Nick, it probably does have bigger holes. No, this is the new. We've had a shipment of Aramax this week. This is the new limited edition black and gold. Now, I don't know how limited it's going to be, but all I can say is half the stock that we ordered didn't actually arrive. So I can't say whether we'll actually be getting any more again, but the stuff that we have is fantastic. So what they've done, it's probably paid to. So this is my current stuff. I can put it head to head. Yeah, so you can see that they've actually made the honeycomb smaller, which makes it more comfortable to grip. It's still the traditional black and gold, as opposed to this. I mean, this was obviously only ever the grey series tool. And it's also 110 mil as opposed to 120 mil of the old stuff. So a little bit shorter, a little bit more control. Yeah, and I can say actually confidently, and just by holding the two and working on an 8 scale recently, that this tool is far more comfortable and grippy than the previous tool. And this one here will be the same as Nick's got over his end, the black and gold, because this one here is a new, the limited edition one is a new finer honeycomb mesh.
It'll be a lot more comfortable. This bigger honeycomb, if you do a lot of work, it gets actually a little bit.
It leaves a pattern in your hand.
It leaves a pattern in your hand, yeah. So I'm pretty sure this model will be a lot nicer.
It does, as cool as it looks, and yeah, like I said, pretty much just as cool and as light as it is. I've actually noticed that straight away working on an 8 scale or anything with any torque, that the new one is far superior. So yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be limited for, or if indeed we'll ever get it again. But yeah, so that just landed this week. We've got about 100 to 50 pieces there to let go, and let's see what happens. That's a 2 mil ball end tungsten steel bit, and you can tell it's the tungsten one because it's even got the flat machined in and the laser etching.
Very nice, actually.
Yeah, most people will be very familiar if they're using RC racing stuff with. They would have seen, if they don't have it, Aramax getting around the pits, and there's a very good reason for it. Is that it is definitely the best quality stuff out there. Yeah. So the new black and gold limited edition. That's within Bret's box. Are you trying to steal my thunder there, Thomas?
No, I'm just sharing the love.
All right, well, Thomas is going to jump in for a second.
So I'm going to jump in
for something really fancy there.
This is for working on things a lot smaller than an 8 scale. So this is Aramax's new precision screwdriver set. There's a couple of different variations of this. This is the 48-piece set. They come in a really nice little metal protective case, and it's just a spring-loaded little end, and you draw out the screwdriver.
Wow.
set.
Do that again. That is so James Bond.
It is, isn't it? I'm a huge fan of this. I do this all day long. So
I'm sure you do.
Nice and flush, and then you just pop the end out.
Wow.
Right out.
And
Wow, that's trickier than a card trick.
And then on the other side,
Double side. I thought it was a magic trick for a second.
So there we
Look at
go.
that.
So your driver in the middle. So it's quite a nice little driver as well. There, get that on camera there. There we go.
Is that
So that's
carbon?
Aramax. It's got a free rotating head on the end of it, so you can rest it in your palm quite nicely and just rotate as needed. And yeah, 48 different tips. This will open just about any gadget you've got.
Is there one for the iPhone that you don't need to spend $800 to fix the screen or something?
iPhones. This will open just about any cell phone, gaming consoles, laptops, cameras, any fancy little gadgets that you've got. If there's a screw of any sort of shape in it that looks too small, it's in this case.
Now you've got me excited.
It is good. It is really, really good. And it's got this whole James Bond thing happening. So That's it. It's gone. And you
It's
get
funny
called.
because Kevin came up to me today with an iPhone 4 that he wants unlocked, so I'll send him to you.
Perfect.
All right, so let's go back to Bret's box. What's left in there?
What else is in? I'm going to need your help here, Nick. What else is in Bret's box?
Oh, that's my favorite.
Rubbers.
Big
done
black
it.
rings. Big
Let me
black,
grab it.
big black donuts.
Walkers, eat your heart out.
That's right. What have we got here?
Oh, look at
This,
that.
my friend, is the not so new but freshly restocked because we've had a big sweep shipment this week. Trilug 1.9, and this is in the gold compound, and this is the go-to tire for serious crawling.
Really
Very aggressive.
Now,
Oh,
as you
solid
can
too.
see, it's fitted over there to. If you put Nick on the big screen, he's got some fitted to Old Blue. Look at them.
Mm.
They've done some
They're
work.
really square. What I really like are the tabs on the side here.
Yeah.
They're actually sticking out a lot. And they will
Yeah,
grab
they're
when
going
you
to
get
get
back
out
on.
of ruts and stuff, aren't they?
That's right. Yeah, as you can see. Dark, isn't
And
it?
I think
But yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt, Sweep are definitely making the best compound tyres, regardless of what class that they're in at the moment. Whether it's 1/10 off-road, crawler, 1/10 on-road, they've really got the recipe nailed lately. This is the gold compound. Yeah, and it comes, sorry, it's really hard to get apart. And it comes with, it doesn't have like the on-road tires like an aramid fiber belt. This has got just the rubber ribs in there to give it the support and the strength. But yeah,
Wow.
an extremely sticky compound.
very.
Awesome for rock crawling. And being the 1.9 size, it's very, and 4.6 outer. That's how they measure the outer diameter. It's a very common fitment and very popular with all the TRX4s or the SCX10s, that sort of thing. So being the winter months, or coming out of winter, I suppose, but being the cooler months and crawler really being at the epicenter of RC at the moment. Yeah, this Sweep Trilug is fantastic. Now they also come, unlike many others, they come with a foam insert. Now they have the foam insert within the tire to act like air pressure in your car. So this one here is what we call an open cell insert, and it's single stage in that it's a single density across the surface or the compression of the insert, and that'll act like air pressure within your tire of your car. So in your car, in your family car in the driveway, you've probably got 35 pounds of air pressure is a decent guide. Well, that foam within the tire actually acts like air, so you can adjust it. There's various foam inserts to give you various sort of tire pressures, if you will. It's for your crawler, but this is a single stage insert and it will be good for 95% of your applications. Yeah,
That's brilliant. It's very well supported, actually.
very well supported. They're very cool tire. They fit really nice. They look really cool, and by all records, Nick will testify that they're fantastic functionally.
Definitely. Probably not as scale. Like, see, if those they're like a scale crawler, these don't look really scale, but they're definitely functional.
Yeah. Well, they're more sort of functional than they are scale, but they still look cool AF. If you look on Nick's crawler, they look really cool.
Let me put the body on.
I need those.
They definitely don't look out of place, and they don't look like a tractor. They just look like a tough off-road tire. Put yourself on the big screen there, Nick.
Yeah, let me do it. 2 hands. There you go.
Boom.
Yeah, cool.
I don't think they're oversized. And the tread pattern looks like a tread pattern that they would actually use on the full size thing. So
Yeah, it's not one that you'd see just going up the main street of Flinders Street, but definitely out in the bush or going up the trails, it wouldn't be uncommon to see a big modified rig with tyres of such nature.
Yeah, true.
Out my way, most of the 4-wheel drives have got those tyres, so yeah.
And if you look how sticky and stuff they are, like they nearly stay all stuck together just themselves.
Wow.
You know, it's almost like a chewing gum. It's really soft, and that is just sweet, knocking it out of the park with their compounds and their development and their products at the moment.
Definitely.
That's cool.
Cool.
Just, is there any logos on there for me to paint?
Any logos on there for you to paint?
Any logos?
Yeah, there is a logo. I'm pretty sure there is.
There is a logo, but given that the fact I'm on a webcam on a laptop, you're probably not going to see it very well there.
Let me put you back.
I mean, sort of see it.
Yeah, there is enough. There's some small stuff, some big stuff.
Yep.
That's fine. Just drop them off in the mailbox. I'll have them for you by Thursday.
Yeah. I've got the one for the VQS here. Let me see. What do they say? We need to get this done. Yeah.
What have you got there, Nick?
Got a VQS to do. Let me put in the big screen.
VQS.
Custom.
So our custom VQS, that's where we are at with this. So we painted the wheels black. They cut really good, actually. These were the usual Tamiya kind of white. Let's see, you can see it probably here, that kind of white with off-white. But we use this Mr. Color, what's it called?
Yes.
Black. And on an airbrush, and these are so good to spray. Again, I don't do very much of this, but it worked really well. A bit of thinning, and it sprayed really well. It came out really shiny, actually. See if you can focus on this. And then now we're gonna have to complete the tires, and I guess Warwick, you're gonna have to write up the white writing.
I'll just white
Gonna
wall
drop them off. Yeah, that's it. So we'll be coming your way soon. Now that I know that you enjoy that part. What else do we have here? We actually received a bit of train stuff. Should we have a look? There's a couple of we received a big Bachmann shipment this week.
Yep.
And there was a wagon that really caught my eye on my way out today. It's this one here. Let me open it up because it's really, really well detailed. There's so much
What
wagon
wagon
in
is that, Nick?
Let me read it. It's a 5-plank. Oh, here we go. It's a 5-plank UCV China clay wagon.
Is it a tub on the top?
There is a tub on top, and it's a fabric.
Oh.
So I don't think I've seen this before, but I think it probably comes up. But it's all weathered, including the fabric is weathered. There is a small logo printed there, and the full chassis is weathered too. It's really impressive. Like a small model like this, and it's made in large volume, obviously, so it's mass produced, but fully weathered to a level, I guess, an advanced model will probably get to, and the chassis as well, as you can see under here.
Wow,
that's really cool.
So
nice.
Really nice model. So that's from Bachmann. Just I'm not familiar. So Bachmann is a British company, and they manufacture all of 00 scale model trains. What else did we receive? We received some Woodland Cynics, and there were a couple of interesting bits and pieces, actually. The Union Jack flag. That's a must-have on your layout.
That's what I always wanted.
But there is also a series of functional street lights, and these are in N scale. So Woodland Cynics, so the Just Plug is a range of Woodland Cynics, and they do all this lighting system. So they've got a lighting system. You can put lights on your buildings and on the street lights. So very, very nice little lights. Here we go. And as we're talking today, we also received the Static King.
That is
Static
so
King
popular, isn't it?
It's so popular. It's a huge static grass applicator. And as we're talking with Beach this morning, we should start playing a bit more with static grass applicator because they can actually produce some really impressive effect. But what's really interesting on this one is that in this big cup here where you put your grass, you can actually have a separation in the middle. You can have two different type of grasses that you fill it with. So as you do your application, you can have a mixed color or mixed length. So you can have 2 mil and 6 mil different cross kind of fiber. So you get this real good depth on your I guess on your grass mat that you're building.
Yeah, it's much more natural, isn't it, if you've got different sizes?
Absolutely. I mean, colors as well, I suppose. So yeah, so that's a big chunky static grass applicator, but that's really, really advanced, really, really nice from Willy and Cynics.
That's cool.
That's what I have here. What else do I have? Done lots of development in the Hearns workshop. Actually, let me bring a few things. I think Warwick has been working on some of those just in the last few days. So we have a set of ladders here. Let me see, so small. So there'll be 4 different type of ladders. These are in 35th scale, but we will have them in HROO for the railway layout, and I guess probably 35th scale, and maybe something in between as well. So that's one, the traditional kind of hand-built ladder, and then a more traditional one here. And what else do we have? These are the HO version, actually. Very, very tiny.
Ladders are one of those things that don't look out of place in anything.
That's right. Yes, absolutely.
They add something to every sort of diorama.
That's it. So, and that's about it really for me at this point. So, Bret was showing us for buggy just before.
Oh no, I was just showing off the only thing that I had of Hearns Workshop.
What
is this? This is your baby, Nick, and your baby, Warwick.
That's Warwick's baby. Warwick was actually working on this just this afternoon, actually.
So it's an alien.
So this is like version 1.0 of the Hearns Workshop suspension arm that we've got here for the YZ4. Is that right?
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to have a final version 3.0, version 2.3 ready for fitting next week.
6.7.
6.7 to this buggy here. And this will look familiar, very familiar to Nick, this one.
Yeah, it was here on the other side of the camera last week.
Yeah, this is indeed Nick's YZ4 SF2. So yeah, and the suspension arm is what connects the front wheel to the chassis of the car. So from the axle point to the inner point here, and you can see it's going to fit around away at these turns here. If I can get my fat fingers out the way, which is not very. So yeah, so it sort of goes in there like that. But yeah, so we're hoping to have that in. Yeah, and it's going to hopefully be a bit of a performance upgrade and an engineering step forward for RC racing and the Yokomo YZ4 SF2.
So it's got some advantages in that it's got this matrix ribbing system inside, right? So it's actually
I'm sure that Warwick's happy to explain more of it than I, but it's pretty much a honeycomb matrix system that's incredibly stiff and incredibly light. Warwick?
Yeah. Well, look, it's a shell, and inside the shell is a 3D lattice. And one of the advantages of additive manufacturing and the 3D printing that we're using is that you can design things that are hollow. You can design things that have undercuts that literally can't be made any other way. And the advantages of that is that you can put material exactly where it needs to be, regardless of without any manufacturing constraints. So I think that Bret's got in his hand, we can put that down to I think it's 10 grams. The stock ones are 14, and version 3.0 I'm just in the final stages of pumping is 8 grams. So an almost I think that's about a 40% weight savings, and the stiffness. I'd be curious to do a stiffness test compared to the stock ones. I mean, it'll be fairly easy to do. Just just stick it in Bret's mouth and hang a weight off the other end and see whether his teeth, whether the arm fails first. I think we should go for it. I think it's
That's a good idea.
That's
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Tom showed his car, so do we get any closer to that? I think we have to give some
I
more.
think there was a comment just before here.
Out of the comments I've seen, we're getting a little close. So it is a Cadillac. We're still looking for the year. We're still looking for the model. It is black, so I will accept that.
So we've got a 56 here.
It's close, Jace. It's not quite a 56.
Not quite a 56, but it is close.
Okay, so let's keep scrolling through the comments here. I've seen something else as we were talking before.
And it's not a Fleetwood.
What, a Fleetwood Mac?
Well, that's what I thought.
No, there's nothing else.
Oh,
Here we go.
What model is it?
Tony's got it.
Oh, there you go.
It's 1955. That's good.
1955 Cadillac. Come on, guys.
Let's see. Let's give a bit of time because there is actually a substantial delay between us and the viewers on YouTube. So let's give it a few seconds and see if anyone start typing.
I don't forgive them. They've had the last hour to Google this.
Meanwhile, something else we've been working on is this little guy here who's going to be. This I think is in 24 scale. There's a guy changing a tire for a, I guess, scale model car. If you do ever do a diorama,
For this,
and there'll be,
right.
yeah,
let's do that car door T.
it'll be perfectly suited for that car that Tom is holding. All right, looks like there's no news on the car.
No,
Are we going to actually have to?
Don't tell me the car's going to win. That's going to be like the first ever.
Probably. So Cadillac 1955. So we have most of it, really. What else are we missing?
Just
The model name.
Model name. Okay. Let's see if anyone is Googling there.
All cricket.
It's gone.
Nothing happening.
Google
So
image
what do we have?
will come.
Look.
Here we go.
Aaron,
Here we
Aaron's
go.
back.
Aaron is back.
Oh,
He's been Googling for the past 48 minutes.
He's from the movie.
He's the
There we go.
godfather of RC.
Well done.
Good work, Aaron.
I think in the meantime, Aaron's been watching the movie.
I
So
said
this is-
Fleetwood, Aaron. Not
So
Fleetwood.
this is the 1955 Cadillac Fleetwood from the Godfather movie. So
That's
and
good.
this could-
Okay.
yeah, Brett almost
Who
gave
made it?
away earlier, but without realizing.
Thanks, start.
But this is for the Greenlight diecast range. So they do all the movie cars. They do the Christine car from Stephen King. They do the Transformers cars and a whole range of different things. But yeah, they turn out really, really nicely. So anyway, well done to Aaron.
And from memory, they have a range with a figurine as well. Is that still from Greenlight, the one with a figurine?
Every now and then they do pump out ones that
Yeah.
have figures as well. I think the when they did the Supernatural car, the Cadillac,
That's right.
that came with the two figures. Yeah. Cool. Some inspirational music.
Who's
Very
that?
good. That's it.
I think the cat's making noise, BJ.
My cat's been whistling.
Is it?
He's been singing, playing music.
The cat
Very
is
good.
the best.
Well, do we have anything else? Let me see. Actually, I have this guy.
While I'm holding cars.
Oh.
Oh,
Wait, would you?
look at that.
So last week, Bret had the Sublime Green Dodge Challenger. This is also from the Kyosho MiniZ range. This one is the Toyota GTV Traino Apex. This is not the initial D version. This is the actual Toyota version. So it doesn't have the Tofu Shop logo down the side of it.
Initial C.
It is the actual same car.
The actual
really,
set.
really nicely detailed little model. It does need LEDs put in it. We'll do that before next week's show, and it will look a lot better with that. This is the all-wheel drive drift version, and yeah, looking forward to getting out and hopefully not destroying this one. So, anyway,
You don't destroy them. You're pretty good with them. You have a good collection. They all look pretty neat.
yeah, there's a couple battle scars here and there.
Is that the one that we tried to put under the X-Max?
Yeah, that one's got a battle scar. So
yeah, I remember that. I had something to do with it.
We'll get it right soon.
That's funny because normally X-Maxes are the ones that we're receiving that have been put under cars. So it's a good role reversal.
Yeah,
that's true.
X-Max.
No, I'm saying.
I was gonna share this one actually. I forgot last week. Let me see.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So this guy is part of the which series? BJ is from the Gotcha Ball, isn't it?
Yes, Winter Craig series.
And I've been applying some of the liquid frost.
Yeah, liquid frost is cool.
And this thing is phenomenal. I wish to know what it is really, but what you do, you put a small drop, let it dry, and I've been experimenting with hot air and cold air, hair dryer, because I'm not patient, so I'm trying to blow anything I could possibly find, a fan, and I think the best option is a fan of a speed controller for a remote control car. It gives a good mix of hot and cold and not too strong, and it lets this grow really, really fast. Let's see if we can see here and down on there. It looks really
chunky.
Very chunky. And you can apply over and over again. It keeps growing and going in all sorts of directions. So this is impressive.
I hope he's got socks on.
No, it's got blisters are here.
It's right down to the bone.
Yeah, down to the bone, exactly. Oh, dear. That's all, really. That's all from me tonight. Anyone else?
Oh, I just got this thing.
Page. Aha, let me put you on big screen. Oh,
is that me?
Governor. But this is one of the governor figures. So there's quite a few different governors. Most of them are actually got armor and things on. But this particular one is the big beefcake version, I guess, showing off all his muscles. So these are from the series called Hexagear. They're all 1/24 scale, so overall the figure's probably going to be so big. So 24 scale, what's that, 75 mil tall. So I guess the box is pretty big for that sort of size figure. But these figures are actually fully articulated. So they're designed to be used with the Hexagear, either mechs or vehicles here. And we'll have a quick look inside and show you all the options. Because if you're familiar with the frame arm girls, you've probably seen some of them coming up on the social media feeds. Just open up. So they come with a lot of options inside. So right over here, we just got our little manual. Over here, you've got, let's see, we'll see there. Oh, got my face. See, just a head here has been factory painted. And then you've got quite a few of the joints. Just to give you an idea of how you get all those options. So this is a packet of just different hands in different postures. Okay, so over here it looks like it's got a cigarette in his hands, in the left or right hand. Got open hands, gripping hands, fists. So you're doing punching motions. Over here you've got all the body parts. Okay, so you've got another head across the top here. And then you've got the back sections, chest, and other structures. You've got ball joints here. This is for the pants, so these are legs. So you've got the base there, the waist, joints for various parts of the upper thighs and the knees. And then there's a whole packet of weaponry. Okay, there's shoes in here as well.
What kind of weapons are shoes?
Huh?
What kind of weapons are shoes?
Couldn't you have any shoes? Shoes? Otherwise we'll get blisters.
You've obviously never had one thrown at you.
Oh, if you saw a shoe coming, you duck, wouldn't you? So here's a manual. Let's see if it's got some pretty pictures of what it can do. All right, so here you go. All right, so you got those two heads. So you saw the top one is the factory painted head with the hair, and then there's the bald one as well. You probably get an idea of the different joints. You can see the knees, the elbows. So it's amazing the sort of pose you can get with these. It's very similar to the frame arm girls. Even though the frame arm girls are a bit taller, here's the design so that you can get them into vehicles like that. See, he all bends over and gets into his motorcycle. So yeah, so that's pretty cool from got a book here. So that's one of the governors. Which governor is this? This is governor version 5.
We actually have a question from
in the shop at the moment. Is this one off
Short?
Arnie? I don't know, but it looks like Arnie, doesn't it?
It looks like it is
I was
based
watching
on
Commando last night because I saw Commando and I had it in the background. It's quite funny.
That's the Governator. That's a different kit.
It let off some steam and then it. So yeah, so that's cool. And then you can see some of the fighting poses there. So yeah, so there's a governor. So,
Nowhere near
works
exciting
really well.
as the girly ones. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that.
What's I got here?
Yeah,
I've got a few tools.
very
I guess.
good. I got. Oh, sorry, I forgot about this. 1 second, I'll put you back here. Here we go.
I love
Oh, yeah.
rustling plastic, BJ. Bring it on.
The Russell.
You love it, don't you? So
Yeah.
we've got
Russell.
some new God Hand sets. So occasionally I bring out sets. We had a few earlier this year, which we've still got some left there. This time around, they've gone with their basic nipper. Actually, where am I going? So here's the basic nipper, and they've got the A and B sets of the sanding sponges, and God Hand makes some of their sanding sponges around. So I'll give you a little explanation pack there. So when you buy these sets, they actually work out cheaper than if you bought them individually. So they're a really great way to start. This is perfect for a beginner. It's a really nice side cutter with the sanding. And then from there, we've got these two packs, which are of the stainless steel sanding sticks. Okay, so there's a 6mm wide one. So that's a 6mm one. And then there's a 10mm one, which is this one. So the great thing about these sets, they're basically the same thing. Only difference really is the width of the sticks. You can probably see them there. The stainless steel sticks. So it's perfectly straight. And they give you double-sided tape that you apply to the stick. And then there's a whole array of emery papers, which you can see on there. There's 2 sets of emery papers with all the different grits. You just cut those to the particular width you want, which they show you right here. And you just double side tape those onto the boards, and they act like a very fine file. And sometimes files are quite coarse, you don't get a lot of control. And then with these sticks, you actually put whatever fine grit you like on them. And then you just peel it off after it's worn out, and you put on a new strip. So there's a double side tape, you can see that in the roll. And the sticks there. So yeah, so 6mm and 10mm. And these
I
are
don't think
limited
you're very
edition,
good for sanding my tires, Beach.
Good for, yeah, they'll be perfect for sanding your tires. There's a 240 grit in there, that'll be perfect.
Oh, jeez.
That'll be luxurious, mate.
yeah, and then you need to go up to 400, and then until you get them virtually
polished.
shiny, polished.
That's right, you get a mirror finish. Feel like my head.
That's it.
That's right. So what? That's pretty much it, I guess.
Good. Well,
Yeah.
I think we've done an hour and 20 minutes almost here. So
I was going to look at
Because
this as well.
super glue.
Sorry. I got one more thing.
one more thing.
So this is the Green Stuff World conductive paint. What's it doing?
Ah, yes. Bret is
The
going to use it
idea with
to.
this is electricity
Have you
flows
tested
through this
that
paint
yet?
after strike.
Have you tried that yet, BJ?
I haven't. So what I want to do is, there's a lot of people that do not have a soldering iron. So I'm going to see if I can get this to get a conductive joint on some LEDs and some basic circuits without the use of a soldering iron. We'll see if this can actually glue it all together. So it might need to use a separate glue for gluing wires in place and the LEDs. But if this can do the conductive joint, then you won't need solder. So hopefully this will be able to achieve that. And I'll try that this weekend, see if we can do that.
Cool.
So basically, you can see it's just really, really fine metallic flecks inside a paint base. So the idea behind this is, instead of having loose wires just floating around inside the model, you'll paint 2 rails inside the model, and so they'll never get tangled with anything. And that way you've got a positive and negative rail, and then you'll just be able to connect up your wires up to those and put them anywhere in the model you like. So particularly useful for large models like spaceships, aircraft. And I have seen these done on small figures too. So rather than trying to drill holes through the figure, these were on Star Wars figures where they had lightsabers. They used this and painted along 2 parts of the arm. So there's one along here and one on the other side. And then it joined into an LED, which was inside the hand, and then that gave the impression of the lightsaber. Then these were just painted all the way down the Mini into the base, and then there was just a little button battery inside the base. So,
wow,
let's give this a go.
Can I use it on my new Gundam?
Hey, you want to use it
Can
on
I use it on my new Gundam?
You can if you want. Your shiny Gundam.
I'm going to power him with this.
Are you branching out?
No, we're going to see him on fire.
It's going to be very
Really hot.
Nuclear powered.
There's going to be a 4S Gundam.
for us. Good.
Oh, that's going to be
dear.
thermonuclear.
I think that's
It's going to be
that's
nuclear Gundam.
nuclear powered, aren't they?
Very good. All right. So, is that time to go?
Could be. Don't really
I
have
think-
anything else here.
I think
No,
so.
I'm not going anywhere.
But, should I? Well, going. sorry, Warwick. Going mad. All right. So Warwick is going mad, and we're going out. And yeah, cool. Very good then. Well, so I guess we're at the end of episode number 60. So thank you everyone for joining us. It's been actually a busy night. We have quite a few people watching, so thank you everyone. And we'll be back next week. 50-50. We may be from the store, or we'll be back here. Who knows?
With
Maybe.
I think that's 2050.
20-50. And 30 is unknown. Yeah,
Undecided.
20-50. Where 20 is from the
Thanks
store,
to
50 is from
everybody for
here.
joining us tonight.
That's it. So everyone,
Right.
thank you very much for watching us. Follow us through the week on social media. Lots of posts going through, questions. Feel free to ask. We'll try to answer them. Video every day on YouTube. So jump on YouTube, subscribe. There's quite a few tutorials coming out this week. We've got some on some of these paints probably next week. Ready for next week. And what else? I don't know. Quite a few tutorials.
We got the
BG
YouTube build of the F4 Phantom going out today as well. If you want to watch.
That's
the
right.
installment.
Exactly. So quite a lot. So follow us on YouTube and have a good weekend. Thank you, everyone.
See you
Thanks,
around.
guys.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
for watching.
Okay,
Bye.
guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in.